just punched you. You couldn't see. Ow. Ow.
Where's the hole with the candy? Where's the hole with the candy?
Stop. Stop. Don't touch me anymore.
Where's the hole with the candy?
It's over.
It's my blindfold.
I was hoping you could see through the blindfold, and I punched you. I actually I was punching you, but you clearly didn't see it.
I had a blindfold on.
Because it took... Well, I thought you could see through that. Because you could get all the animal questions right. I thought you could do anything. Welcome to Good Mythical More. Now that we both have dogs, so animals besides our children in our homes,
Animals besides our children.
This opens up a whole world of possibility for us to put those dogs to work.
Well, I mean,
that has not happened so far in my house.
But putting them to work is one thing. Training them is another thing. You know what? I'm gonna have to bring in Barbara, and Barbara's gonna have to put on a little show for y'all.
Oh gosh, that's I don't want to do. You know what?
Barbara,
I don't want to see no show.
Barbara Mandrell is.
I have not trained Jade,
doing
so
some
I don't want to.
Amazing things.
And so now you're gonna sit here and brag about them.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna bring her in and show them to you.
Here's my question. I'm really sensitive to this because I'm not training
She's serving us.
to do any
She's
tricks.
getting drinks for us.
So I don't want to hear about how much better she is because I know that Jade is like, she rules the place and it's wrong.
It has nothing to do with whose dog is better. I'm just saying.
Can I send her to your house to be trained?
Can't Barbara just come in and just strut her stuff and it has nothing to do with what dog is better? It's just, if she can do lots of tricks and your dog can't do any, it doesn't say anything about your dog. It just means that Barbara's amazing.
My dog is nothing but a love sponge. She can do no tricks, and there's no one teaching her any tricks because every time that they do interact with her, it's just they just do this. There's nothing besides that for her. She's spoiled, and she almost put my eye out. Can I tell that story? So yeah, I love Jade, but if she puts my eye out, my feelings may change a little bit. What can Barbara do? Just rattle it off. Just go ahead and do it.
Well,
I didn't mean to cut it.
I've only had her a couple of weeks, and she's only 3 months old, but she can sit, she can stay, she can beg, like she can stand up, she can ring a bell on the door before she goes outside.
To poop.
Yeah.
So and she can poop.
Yeah.
If I could teach Jade to just poop on command. Because I sat outside, I was waiting for her to poop.
Well, she can't poop on command.
In the front yard.
I mean, if she has to poop, she'll ring the bell.
Oh, so you don't ring the bell and she poops?
No, originally, yes, that's what I did. And I don't know anything about this. It was just the person at the adoption place was just like, here, take this bell, and when you go out the door that they're going to poop out of, but the area of the yard they're going to poop in, ring this bell. And eventually... And now she goes up and she rings the bell and then she sits and she turns and looks at us. She's like, I know it's Pavlov, man.
See, what I do is I took Jade out to poop because I knew she needed to. And then she wouldn't go. And she's like sniffing around forever. And I eventually sit down under the tree in my front yard.
Yeah.
And then she darts off into the street, which I'm having some work done in my backyard, which is secured. So she can't run out anywhere. But this is an exceptional time because of the work being done back there. She darted out into the street, and so I dart out after her. I stand up right into a tree limb, which hits me right here, takes my glasses off, hits above my eyelid, scrapes all the way around my eyeball, all the way below it, and I thought I was blinded. Went after the dog, caught her, brought her in the house, and then I was pretty traumatized.
Yep, sounds like it.
Because it hurt really, really badly. And then I was like, where are my glasses? And I couldn't figure it out. I was so traumatized, I'd forgotten that I was even wearing glasses and they were knocked off outside in the dark. I looked in the house for my glasses for like the next 15 minutes, and then I realized, hold on, I was wearing them. Because I was convinced I wasn't wearing them because my eyes wouldn't have been poked out.
It would have been protected.
And it was a big limb too. It wasn't like a little limb. And it's like one of those things that I wish it was caught on video because it's it's like running through a spider web. It's like I stood up really fast and then probably
Except like a spider web that's really big and brown that you can
put
see.
your eye out. But then I went back outside with a flashlight and I eventually found the glasses there, even though I was convinced that I wasn't wearing them at all because when I chased the dog, I didn't have them. I was like, I must come outside without my glasses.
Out with my glasses.
I don't know who needs to be trained here the more I think about it. Maybe it's me. I think maybe I'm the problem. I don't know. She'll sit.
Is it in did you have the situation? See, I don't have a front yard, so the part of the yard that we let her out into like is completely fenced off, and like we actually had a little fence installed to like keep her in one area. So she doesn't have an opportunity to run off anywhere, and she hasn't gotten her last shot, so she can't go out into just random grass. So I don't know what she would do if you just put her in a front yard. If she would, because this is the thing, all the dogs that I ever had growing up, of course, back in the 80s and early 90s, when the dogs that the McLaughlins had, there was no training these dogs. It was just like, we're going to build a pen in the back. Of course, the dogs can't come in the house either. We're going to build a pen in the back, and we're going to put a doghouse in it. Just typical Southern dog style. And then
Southern dog.
And you're going to play with that dog occasionally, but you're not going to teach it to do anything. And if you let it out of the pen, it's just going to run off into the distance. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way we did dogs in the South growing up. And that's what happened to two of our dogs is they eventually did just run off into the horizon. And
I don't
we never
know that
saw
that's
them
a
again.
Southern thing, to be fair. I think that's just I don't actually want to have a dog, but for some reason I do.
But don't you think that was much more prominent, not necessarily in the South, but back in the day?
Yeah.
Like in the 80s and 90s, like before Caesar had a television show.
North Carolina. That was my North Carolina dog experience.
Exactly. That was the way you did a dog.
It's just like a yard feature.
And
There's
if somebody,
a dog in it.
And if somebody had a dog that could like sit and stay or like walk next to them outside without a leash, you were like, that uppity person has a dog that obeys them.
Kind of like what I did at the beginning with you with like
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to hear about your ringing a bell, dog ringing a bell.
But I'll tell you,
Really?
the thing that I've been absolutely amazed at, because having grown up in a home where we didn't do any actual dog training, is how quickly they pick. Like this is the thing. This is what should give you hope. If you just start doing like 2 or 3 things consistently, like within a day, she will have something down. Like I've been like, we also taught her off because she's a biter and she's a puppy. But she's a lot worse than Jade about biting, and the way she like shows you that she loves you is by beginning to consume you with her little needle teeth. But we taught her off, and of course, everybody has the internet now. So what were you going to do? Go to the library and look up at a dog training book back in the day? No, nobody would do that. So we didn't even know what to do. But like,
A book?
yeah, who reads books? So I just go on these sites or go to these YouTube channels, and some of them are hilarious. But put a treat in your hand, and then the dog like comes up, and she's like trying to get to the treat because she can smell it in there, and you say off, and until she stops, and when she stops, you give her the treat. And so now she just, as soon as you take a treat and put it in your hand, she just sits down and looks at you and waits for it. Like the 3rd time that we did that, she was like, oh, I get it. If you have a treat in your hand, if I want it, I just have to sit and look at it. And so you can't even teach her the off command because she just thinks, so I've had to do some other things. But they pick things up quick, man. You can have Jade ringing bells and scratching records and doing all kinds of things. Giving kids henna tattoos. That's one of the things that we've got on Barbara's list. Face painting and henna. It's going to be like
How long does henna last?
I don't know, when dogs do it, I think it lasts 2 to 3 times as long because of the saliva, because of the bacterial makeup of the saliva. We're basically turning our house into like a county fair run by dogs.